Hello everyone, welcome to Neha's Bakery. We all are very excited to learn this beer barrel cake. So let's get started. I have taken a 5-inch cake. 2 cakes are 5-inch and 2 cakes are 6-inch. I have baked a marble cake today, for which we will be using chocolate mousse for the filling. So I bake my cake previous day and keep the cake in fridge, so it's well chilled and it's easy to carve. For carving cake, I would recommend you to use butter based cake and not oil based, because in fridge it gets hardened and we get a smooth finish for carving. Like for oil cakes, it may doesn't carve well, but butter cakes do carve well. So we are just cutting off the top part, the top dome of the cake of all the cakes. Just make sure your cake is nicely baked and chilled properly before carving, otherwise there will be a problem with carving. So we are taking one 5-inch cake and one 6-inch cake, and on top of it I just put a lid of a box for reference from where I have to cut. So you can take any other thing, any round thing which is of that size, small size than a 5-inch cake. So I'm just cutting in a slanting way to form a V. You can see it's a turn into a V shaped. Now we will repeat the same process for the other 2 cakes. I'll just try showing from this angle, as my hands doesn't work this way, just to show how we are going it. It's nothing, just cut the cakes on a slanting way. Don't cut extra because it will be a problem then. I have tried not to edit or delete anything from the video. That's just edited and made it a little faster, nothing else. I have not cropped anything, tried showing you everything on this video. So we will now just again place all the cakes in the shape of a barrel and see if we need to carve a little more from middle to give it a barrel shape. I generally carve my cake without icing. Many people does carving after icing the cake, but I prefer first carving the cake then icing. So you can do either ways you are comfortable with. I'll just clean the mess and get back with the filling. Now we'll cut the cakes into halves, because it's a very thick cake, so it will taste hard if we don't put the syrup or something. So I have taken a bigger board on the below and a small board. For the reference we have taken that a little bigger than that size. This is a 5-inch MDF board I'm using. So that is the sugar syrup I have used. That is 1 part of sugar and 2 parts of water. Boil and cool down and fill in the bottle. This is chocolate mousse. It's nothing, just ganache mixed with some whipped cream. Not much of whipped cream because we are again carving the cake, so we need a stable structure. You can use ganache also directly. Don't put too much of sugar syrup in carved cakes because it will not hold properly. So try using very less sugar. You can slit your cakes in two halves. Before only I forgot to slit the cakes, so I'm doing it now. So we'll just ice the crumb coat. We are doing the crumb coating of the cake. You can see I am putting very less sugar syrup in this cake because we'll be cutting it afterwards. Okay, I forgot to put the sugar syrup. It's okay. So you can put some more sugar syrup and then layer the cake. So I'm layering it again separately only, the other two cakes. We will just do the crumb coating. The tap and everything will be placed later. If you think your cake is not stable or anything, you can put dowels at this point or a small board. Some dowels below and a small board in between. Then again you can put the cake, but I didn't feel that it will need some doweling because it's a small 2 kg cake. But if you think your cake is not stable, it's going down from one side or something, anything like that, just put some dowels in between. Don't put too much dowels because we will be cutting the cake for in the tap and everything, so the dowels can come in between. I'm putting one dowel. By looking at the cake, you can feel that the cake can go down, but it won't. Trust me. I am not working in an AC room. I am just working in the normal temperature. If your city weather is too hot, try working in an AC room because the cake can start melting with the ganache and it can go down. So just try working in an AC room. Pune's weather is not that hot, so we can manage in the normal weather. This crumb coated cake goes in the fridge for around 15 to 20 minutes. I have used very homely products for this structure thing. This is a ranch dressing bottle which was finished, so I have washed it. Nothing else. You can use any other bottle or any other container. Try using a flat container. This has a little curve, so I faced a little problem. But try using a flat rectangle shaped container if you have. I'm using a sharp knife to cut the container. Be careful while cutting the container. I've just cut the containers, a very small container because no one will pour too much of liquor and drink while eating the cake. So you need a very little amount of alcohol to get inside the cake. Now we'll just adjust the tap on the lower edge of the container so the liquid pours out very nicely. I'm using an X-Acto knife to cut the hole. This tap I got from a hardware shop. It's always available in Amazon also if you're not going out. Don't cut the bottle excess of the size, otherwise your liquid will come out of the hole. There will be a small leakage. Be sure you have washers on both sides. See, they have given me 2 washers and this one ringed, I think. So one washer gets outside and one washer I'll get just inserted inside. you need to screw it very nicely and tight. Don't make it loose, otherwise the liquid will leak from the bottle. Make sure you tighten it very nicely. On a safer side, you can pour some water and keep it for some time and check if your water is leaking from this container. Then only insert this in your cake. I was just trying to see if the other part of the bottle goes inside so we can lock it, but it didn't work, so we'll just keep it like that. Now we'll bring the chilled cake and insert this bottle inside the cake. So this is a cling wrap. We are making that bottle food safe, and as it will go inside the cake, so we're just clinging it up so the bottle doesn't touch our cake. So I just borrowed some rum from my friend, and that rum goes inside the cake. First we will carve the cake. So we are just measuring roughly, not exactly, just we'll see how much we need to cut, and we will take the cake out of it. Just check if it's going in. No, so we have to cut a little more, then we'll check if it's going in. We have put a dowel, if you remember, but because it's obstructing our carving, so we'll just put it somewhere else. We'll just try if it's going inside. We have to carve a little more cake from inside because it's not going in. You can use ganache. I won't recommend any fresh fruit filling or fresh fruit cake for this carving thing, because it won't stay. So this is a proper size. We have done it properly. Yay! This goes inside like this. So we'll just pour in some alcohol in this bottle and cover it with cling wrap again. Yeah, here is wrong. So we are just pouring some liquid inside, not too much. We'll wrap it again. We'll put the container inside the cake. Now I am working in an AC room to keep my cake chilled. So with the warmth of my hand, it doesn't melt. Now we will ice the ganache on top of the tap so we can hide the bottle. My ganache has hardened a little in the AC, so I'll just go and melt it for like 10 seconds so it will be applicable. There's no rocket science, so we have not used any structure for this cake. It's just a simple box and a tap which you can readily get in any hardware store. Now we have a proper consistency ganache. We'll apply the ganache all over where there is cracks and everything, so the tap and the inside structure is not seen. I apply my ganache very neatly, so if the inside of the cake is neat, your whipped cream will look neat. If the inside of the cake is not neat, you won't be able to apply neatly finished whipped cream cake. So just make sure your inside of the cake is sharp and neat. The shape is properly done. We are just using an OHP sheet, or this you can easily get in RF or somewhere in bakery stores. This plastic things. This is known as scrapers. So it just helps us to smoothen the ganache or whipped cream very nicely. This is the local based, there is no brand for this. Yeah, the tap is getting dirty, but you can clean it afterwards. We have ganached the cake properly. Now this cake will go in the fridge for 15 minutes. Just clean it up, the tap and everything, because once it's set it doesn't clean. Now I have taken this number 4 Noor star nozzle and we have whipped some cream. I use Tropolite cream, whipped cream. Make sure your cream is whipped properly with stiff peaks. Just go round and fill all the areas of your cake with this nozzle. Yes, you can apply with spatula also, but I find it easy to apply it like this. It goes very evenly and you don't put any extra cream somewhere and less cream somewhere. It's very even at all the sides. Just go and finish it off. So I'm making sure my down board is covered with whipped cream, so if I lift the cake up, it will be just a barrel. You cannot see any board or something like that. So we have applied whipped cream all over the cake. Now I'll take some OHP sheets and this is normal OHP sheet which I have cut in the card size, the debit card or credit card size. I'm using an the spatula, offset spatula, the small one. We'll just go around till we are satisfied with the finish. We can go on and on because I like my whipped cream to be very nicely finished. Just go on and on and on and on. For smoothing, I use some normal water spray. This is not hot water or cold water, it's just normal water, and spray all over. Then again with the OHP sheet I go on and on and on. For this cake we don't need much of finishing because we will be applying stenciling and this the design of the barrel, so we don't need much of that sharp finish. So this is fine enough for me. Now we'll try some stenciling. The design of the barrel, the wooden finish. We can either use a toothpick, a Dresden tool, or a stencil or impression mats. The small impression mats you get, those. Okay, I'm going again. No problem. Let me get the smooth finishing. In whipped cream, it's little difficult to do stenciling because the whipped cream get all over the stencils. But if you work with a very light hand, very delicately, you will very nicely get a stencil effect on whipped cream also. It's not that you cannot use stencils on whipped cream. I'll just clean the mess and we'll do the designing. This is a stencil of wood finish, so I'll just try if this works. Very gently will press, but the cream is coming out, so I'm not using it now, but I'll be using it later. So I have taken some toothpick. No, I was not happy with that finish, so I just started with doing with a toothpick. So I'm just giving lines, straight lines. I've taken a small toothpick to give that barrel design, which my stencil is not able to give in my whipped cream cake. I'm just taking a toothpick and going and giving the designs like this. And it will take like edges to do this design all over the cake. So have some patience and do it patiently. For dark colors, I generally ice my cake white. Then I use airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, there is nothing to worry. You can use colored whipped cream also. But for brighter colors, I would recommend airbrushing your whipped cream cake. Otherwise, you have to mix a lot of color in whipped cream to get that desired dark color, which is not actually healthy. So I have lost my patience doing with this toothpick. So I will again try doing with stencils. Now I'll just give that round effect, but it's not working, so I just spread a little water. That works. So we are spreading water. Spray a lot of water on the stencil and press on the cake. Not too much, very light-handedly, very delicately, because it's a whipped cream cake. It's not a fondant cake that you just roll it over. So very lightly, just spray again and do it again. Then again spray, then do it again. If you spray the water nicely and your whipped cream is stiff enough, it won't stick. But if your whipped cream is not whipped properly, it's not smooth, it will stick to your whipped cream cake. So the impression thing I do on my whipped cream cakes, this is the same method. I just spray some water on the impression mat and place on the whipped cream very delicately. Some copper color airbrushing color in my airbrushing machine, but the color I was not satisfied with. It was a little reddish, so I have mixed a tinge of brown to it to give that barrel effect. Now it's good. So I just airbrush the whole cake with this color. After airbrushing, the impressions come out very nicely. That's good to go. For the lines we have made in the barrels, we are using some black, brown and black color. The lines and the round part of the barrel black, so it gives a realistic effect. For airbrushing, you need to have a stable hands and do it very nicely and smoothly. Don't panic. This is I'm happy with the finish. Now the cake is almost ready. I have this golden fondant from Confect. If you don't have golden fondant, you can use black fondant. If you want it golden, you just put black fondant and paint it gold with the roll cream mixed with Evaporex. Using a paint brush, you can paint it. I had this ready-made golden fondant, so I used it. I'm just cutting parallel lines and using it on my cake. Be very gentle while putting fondant accents on the cake, because it's a whipped cream cake and a single touch can ruin your whole cake. Ta-da! Our cake is ready to pour some alcohol. I have just put a miniature bottle on top of it to give it a nice effect. And the blue color tap was not looking good, so I put some golden strip on it. Hope you like the class, and thank you for registering. Thank you for trusting me. Happy baking. I would like to see you all doing this cake and sending me videos. Good luck. Bye bye. Thank you.